Hosanna. So today we are going to have a special yoga class in celebration of Holy Week. So it's Hosanna Holy Week stretch. I am sitting on a pillow. I'm actually not at home. I'm visiting my parents and staying at my sister's house. So I have a nice background. Get yourself in a nice comfortable seated position. I'm using her couch cushion. So if you want, you can either sit directly onto your mat or on a cushion, bolster, block, your choice. Place your hands gently on top of your thighs. You may want to close your eyes. Feel the crown of your head up toward heaven. And just take some breaths. Inhale and exhale. As you inhale, you may feel your belly rising as your lungs are pressing the diaphragm down toward it. And as you exhale, your belly comes gently back to your spine. This is such a special week. God breathed life into us. What an amazing plan He had in order for us to be with Him. Just feel how the breath goes through your body. Sense in your body where you might be a little bit tight, and you relax it. You may want to set your intention now, thinking of what Jesus did for us. Praise, acknowledging great gratitude. And then when you're ready, you may want to open your eyes. Want to your arms all the way up, hands together, palms together above you. Exhale your hands heart center. I'm going to stretch out your hands. So interlace your fingers. Stretch out your hands with your palms forward. Exhale as you arch your back away from you. Inhale, bring your body straight up and allow your palms up toward heaven. So we had Palm Sunday. The palm is up toward heaven. Just going to do a couple different range of motion here. As you inhale upward, exhale slightly over to your right side. Keep your sits bones still connected onto the ground. Inhale back to center. Exhale to your left side. So you're going to go to your own motion. Inhale back up. Exhale. Let the swing. Hosanna. Think of how excited the people in Israel were. Jerusalem came there, Passover. They were hoping Jesus was going to save them from the rulers of the Romans. And you may feel yourself being able to go a little bit deeper, but again, go to your own range of motion. Your breath. When you're ready, you can exhale your arms down. Inhale your shoulders up to your ears. Pull it down and back. Exhale. Do it a couple times. Allow your elbows now to kind of move with motion. And your hands. Like go in the opposite direction. It's time to just get yourself into your hands and knees. I'm going to come facing towards you. So knees are directly underneath your hips. If you had any props, you might want to remove it away from you. Knees directly underneath your hips, hip width apart, so your feet are behind, you wouldn't be able to see them. Hands directly underneath your shoulder, shoulder width apart. Just a couple cat cows. Inhale as you drop your belly down, arching your tailbone upward, gaze slightly up. Exhale as you press into your hands, arching back so that your tailbone's tucked under, your chin's tucked down. Go in reverse. You inhale. Just feel the flexion and extension. You imagine. So we're going to now extend your right foot out. Right leg, right knee is still straight. Your left knee is going to be bisecting the arch of your right foot. So your right toes are still pointing forward, coming up, going to gate pose. Jesus rode on a donkey and entered Jerusalem's gate through the eastern gate. Now your arms all the way up. Exhale, bring your right hand down toward your right side. Just, you can either place it on top of your thighs or even lower. Just make sure you don't put it onto your knees. Extend your left arm over. This is important so that you don't rotate your spine. Keep your shoulders open, your left shoulder open. If you like, you can lift your palms up again. You can gaze up if you prefer. So the Eastern Gate was also known as the Golden Gate. So Jerusalem is surrounded by this entire wall. The Eastern Gate, of course, looks toward Mount Olives. Inhale here. Exhale, drop your left hand directly underneath your left shoulder. You may choose to use a block if you prefer. Inhale your right arm up. As you exhale, you may want to lift your right foot up. Extend your right arm over. We're getting a stretch, but now we're doing a little bit of strengthening. So you can choose to be back down here if you want, but we're going to do a little bit of strengthening. Inhale again. Exhale as you kick your knee toward your elbow. Inhale back up. So when Jesus went to the temple, saw what was going on with all the merchants selling things. He kicked a bunch of things, turned the tables. Folks, he was very angry that they were not using his father's house the intended way. Drop it down. Beautiful. Now bring your hand in front of you. Keep your hips still even. And then we're going to do a couple of cat cows this way. So feel the rotation of your hips, just be gentle. Really stretching the inner thighs. A little bit of hip flexors, so as you have the option, if you want, you can always bring your left hand forward and then bring your right hand under, thread the needle, drop your right ear toward the floor. Be mindful of your knees, keep your head. A little bit of small twist. Go back to center. Facing your right hand underneath your right shoulder, left hand underneath your left shoulder. Bring your right knee under, extend your left foot out. And check to see if your hips are squared with each other. Bring yourself forward so we're into that gate pose on the other side. Inhale your arms all the way up. Exhale your left hand down toward your left leg. Again, watch where you're placing it here. Make sure the right shoulder does not rotate forward. And keep it so that you're in the same plane. If you'd like to, you can always place your palms upward. Feel your breath. The breath should be getting this beautiful stretch as well as your lateral stretch. You'll probably also feel the stretching on the left inner thighs as well. And you're even allowing your left ankle, left foot to get the stretch. So whichever foot is toward the extended side. Here, exhale, drop your right hand underneath your right shoulders. Open your arms up. You may want to lift your left leg up. Now extend it over. You stay here, it's a little bit more strengthening. Then when you're ready, do a little bit of kicking. So inhale here, exhale, bring your knees to your elbow. Inhale, exhale, inhale. You may feel your right gluteus maximus firing up. So kind of like that donkey kick. When you're ready, drop your left foot down and walk your hands in front. And do a little bit of that cat-cow so you feel the stretch. So again, be very mindful of your hips and even your knees. So you can always place some cushions or towels or blankets underneath your knee. Here, exhale. Inhale. Ready for that little small twist. So you walk your right hand forward just by one palm length. Inhale, exhale your left arm underneath your right armpit, so threading the needle. Again, you can use some prompts so you don't have to go so deep. Continue breathing. Wonderful. So placing up. Bring your right foot knee in. So we're in our tabletop. Now this time I'd like for you to get onto your seat. Placing your hands underneath your shoulders, fingers toward your hips. Knees are bent, your feet are on the floor or your mat. You go into reverse tabletop. A little bit of stretching and strengthening. You feel in your arms. Some people may choose to drop your head back. In my case, my simple spine prefers it not to do that. So you can try to lift your hips up, tabletop. Boy, talk about really being able to flip the tables, right? Strengthening, and shaking, that's okay. And then when you're ready, come on down. Beautiful. All right. This time, you're going to extend your left foot straight, right heel in. Rotate your body, go over the left leg. You can choose how large of an angle you want. It doesn't have to go really stretched out far. Just going to stretch again the inner thighs. Inhale your arms up. Exhale as you come forward. So we're bending at the hips. You start feeling a stretch in your lower back, especially against the opposite side. And then when you're ready, you can always place your hands down. So you can place your hands down onto your calf, calf of your feet, or you can even have it on your thigh. Those who choose to use a strap or a towel, you're more than welcome to. You want to hold on to your toes. Check to see to make sure your toes are straight up. If it's rotating inward or outward, that's something that you want to make sure it's going straight vertically. Feel what is being stretched. And then perhaps you may be able to go a little bit lower down. Again, your goal isn't necessarily have your nose touch your knees. It's just allowing you to take that time to marinate your body. Can you be still? During the quietness is when you can be truly connected with God. when you're in this quietness, what are you sensing? Is there areas in your body that might be tense? Can you allow it to have some of that peace, that relaxation that Jesus promised us? Can you surrender it? Slowly walk on up. Your bring your left foot to touch your right foot, the sole of the feet, kind of Baddha Konasana or cowboy's pose. You're going to feel how one side feels a little different than the other side, right? Now extend your right leg straight out. Left heel comes inward. Same thing now on this side. Rotate your body slightly over to your right side. Inhale your arms all the way up, and we're going to hinge at the hip. Checking your right toes are straight up vertically, not rotating inward or outward. Again, you have the option to place your hands down onto your calves, your thighs, or your toes, or you can even use a strap or a towel, or one time I even used a shirt that I happened to have nearby and just kind of rolled it up so that it was a little bit easier for me to hold on to. And you may notice how one side is different than the other side. We are uniquely created. Again, take stock of what your breath is telling you. Are you feeling tense or clenching? Can you surrender? This is true in any and every situation on a daily basis. We're so busy or filled with our daily activities. You can always spend that time with God. It's amazing the peace that you receive moment to moment. Bring your gaze back and focus back to Him. Slowly we come back up. Bend that right knee. Bring that right foot touching the soles of the left foot. Feel how that feels. Okay. Now let's get onto your hands and knees. Lots of animal sounds here. Okay. So your hands directly underneath your shoulders. Going to walk your hands up just one hand length, touching your toes, lifting yourself up into your first downward facing dog. Enlarge the place of your tent. So our body, our physical body is simply the temple that the Spirit can dwell in us. Back during the old time, they physically had the curtains and the meeting place, had tent pegs and such. And I like to, when I read that verse in Isaiah, I like to imagine our bodies doing this. So as we're stretching out and lengthening and strengthening the cords and the pegs, that's like our legs and our arms. You feel the inversion of your spine as well. Keep breathing. This time you're going to slightly bend both knees. Bring your right foot up toward your right hand. Check to see that the right knee's over that right ankle. Stay here. Your left toes are on the ground, but your left heel is still up off the ground. Now you may choose to come up, hands all the way up like this. Another option is you can place your hands onto your thigh, help yourself up. We're getting that stretch down there, but we're also using some strengthening. Like arms up. Just next week. across, palms up again. Hands up, exhale it down. Take a step back, your right foot, downward facing dog. This time, bend your knee slightly, bring the left foot forward, left knee over that left ankle, right heel's up off the ground. So again, you have the option to come on up this way, or placing your hands onto your thighs, open yourself up. This is why it's really important to have that left knee over that left ankle. You can always use the wall or a chair next to you to use as a prop. Again, we're getting a little bit of stretch. You feel in your quad, but also strengthening. Here. Exhale your arms out, palms up. Shoulder blades tucked back toward each other, angel wings. Inhale your arms up, exhale back down. Take a step back, downward facing dog. Beautiful temple. This time we're going to drop your knees down. And then we're going to go into Hosanna, Hero's pose. However, we're going to do this a slightly modification. So you may want to have some props nearby you, so it's not too intense, because this was supposed to be a stretch class. So have your right foot straight, right leg straight out in front of you. And then this way you can lean a little bit to the right. Using your hand, you may want to pull your calf flesh away from you. And then if need be, you can even use your right hand and pull your thigh flesh inward towards you, rotating inward. So we're going to Curious Pose. Now, if this is not accessible for your knees, or if you feel some type of pain, please don't do this. Other options, if you just feel a little bit uncomfortable, you could put pillow. You can actually widen the angle between where your calf and your thighs are. You're getting the stretch in the ankles. Also, you may need to move the flesh from your sits bone so that you're grounded. Check where your toes are relative to your extended leg. You can stay here, nice and straight, feeling the stretch there. This may be all you want. If you choose, you can even have your palms facing upward, shoulder blades back, angel wings tucked back. For those that want a little bit more, you can either choose to bend forward or place your hands behind you underneath your shoulders. This would be a little bit of choice here. If everything feels fine, you may even opt to go down to your elbows, feel a little bit more of a stretch. Oh, yeah. And some may opt to go all the way down to the ground. So I used to do this a lot. I did this earlier and my recording didn't work. So you could always get on the prop, all the way down. I have my sister's bigger cushion. You don't need to go all the way down, in fact. The biggest challenge is always getting back up sometimes. Feel the breath. So where is it tight? Again, you can always be just sitting straight up. This is why we're doing it only one side at a time. You're ready. And bring your elbows back underneath, then your hands up, and then rotate slightly, turn over to the side of your extended leg. And this way, allow your left leg to come out. Oh, yeah, you feel the energy rushing in. Kind of wave your hands, Hosanna, back and forth. Your toes going back and forth. Go forward, so far back and forth. This time we're going to do the other side. So again, lean over toward your left side. Bend your right knee. Have the top of your right foot onto the ground. And you may choose to use your hands to move the flesh of your muscles, your legs, away from each other. And again, be very mindful of your knees. So for some people, this is really intense. And if so, You can just be in our Dandasana or staff pose, which is just upright with both legs straight. But just make sure your systems are connected. You can always sit on a cushion. Hands could be just on your thighs. Have your palms up. Tuck the shoulder blades down. Angel wings in. If you'd like, you can place your hands behind you, underneath your shoulders. Take time. I want to spend eternity with us. Great plan that he had. Jesus' willingness to be that sacrifice so that we can have that relationship with God. Let's go down to our elbows if you like. And for those that like to even go further, yell it down. Ooh, I definitely don't have the cushion behind me. Really feel that stretch. I'm feeling that stretch in my quads. The breath will tell you where you might be tight. And I noticed that I was slightly clenching my jaw, so relax. Always come out whenever your body's asking you to. That's the beauty of yoga. That union between our physical self, our mental self, and our spiritual self. And really, it's not just the physical and the mental, most importantly, it's the spiritual. And so I love the analogy with, are we aware and are we listening to God? Come back up. Hands. And then lean over toward your extended side. Allow your bent leg to go straight. And then straighten it, and then it's a wave it. Hallelujah. All right. We're going to bend our knees and come onto our back. I think this is going to be a lot shorter because I had to do this recording again. I don't know what happened to my original recording. It's a lot shorter. My parents. So send your arms out to a T across. Palms facing upright. Bring your knees above your hips. Flex your feet. Now I remember what I forgot. Send your legs straight and then just open up and straddle. I missed this whole section I did the other day. Just feel the inner thighs. Feet back together, bend your knees. This time, have your hands, palms facing down toward earth. Engage your core and slowly allow both knees to go over toward your right side. Nice and slow. Keep your lower back protected. Engage your core. And if you cannot reach your knees to the floor, which is completely fine, you can always use any kind of props, blocks, holsters, towels, blankets, cushions. Try to keep the knees stacked on top of each other. Stay here and relax. Going to come back to center, and in doing so, you also want to protect that lower back so you can engage your core. Now, sometimes this might be as you're gradually building up. You may opt to have your left or top leg come up first and then your bottom leg, your right leg come up if you're gradually doing that, or you can do both at the same time. There's just some options for you. Here, just rotate your knees a little bit to circles, opposite direction. And now we're going, if you feel like you're shifted, realign yourself, and then we're going to go drop our knees over to the left side. Keep breathing. Nice little spinal twist. Engage your core. Going back to center. And again, you have the option to break, allow your right leg to come up first and then your left. Right? Your choice. I'll give knees to your chest. I'm going to extend both legs straight. This time, I'd like for you to keep your left leg straight. Allow the right knee to be bent, and then you rotate it out to the side. So your right sole of your feet is on the inner thigh of your left leg. So we're in tree pose, but a supine tree pose. So we're lying down in tree pose. Extend your arms up. You're going to grab your thumbs to each other. So interlace your thumbs to each other, kind of like tucking them this way. Palms facing upward. Allow your elbows to be bent a little bit so that your shoulder blades are contact with the floor, tucking in slightly. So, palm trees, what they use the palm leaves from. So your palms are up, but your hands are fanned out like those leaves. Kind of a little corny. Because we did a lot of stretching, this may feel really quite easy. First time I did this one a few days ago, I felt a major difference. I've been very stretched out this week now. Inhale, bring your fingers away from you, up higher. Exhale, release your hands down to the side. As it comes down to your side, your right hand is going to help guide your right knee upward, bending your left knee in. Bring both knees to your chest, hug your knees to your chest. If you want, you can even bring your chin toward your chest. Rock from side to side. Get back down. This time, extend your right leg straight down. Left foot makes contact with your knees bent. Now drop your left knee toward the left side. Your left sole of your foot is on the inner thigh of your right leg. The tree pose on this side. Inhale your arms up. Let's see how mindful you were. Now, whichever thumb that you had above, this time you have that one below as you unlace your thumbs. Having your elbows slightly bent. Feel your shoulder blades tucked, flushed against the floor or the mat. You relax. Think about what Jesus did for us on Good Friday, knowing what he's going to be facing, not just the physical pain. Oh, physical torture, but for him it was after all the sins on him, being separated by God. And he knew exactly that what was coming, his willingness to do that so that we would be separated from God. Inhale your fingers up away from you. Exhale, release your hands, come down on the side. Left hand's going to help guide the left knee upward. Bring your right knee up, left knee up, a little bit side to side. Send your arms out again as cross. Jesus crucifixion here. And then we're going to go into Shavasana. Really kind of really extend your right heel to the right corner of your mat, left heel to the left corner of your mat. Tuck those shoulder blades under again. Check to make sure that your chin's not jutting upward. Have the forehead be at least the same level, not slightly higher than your chin. You can always choose to put a pillow or some type of blanket or towel underneath your head if you feel like it's a lot lower. It'll be fine. It's beautiful to use props. Accessible to you. I'd like for you to just relax here. Imagine yourself fully in the arms of Jesus, his arms stretched out wide for us. I think when Jesus was first born, what did the messengers of God say? His angels that said, "Fear not." Then when Jesus came back, he said, "Peace, may be with peace." As you lay here, just sense from your toes if any of them are tense. Can you relax anything there? And believing in Jesus as our Savior doesn't mean that we're not going to face any trials and difficult situations. In fact, we're guaranteed to do so. But it makes us stronger. It stretches us out as well. It tests our faith. It connects that bond with God even in a way that wouldn't be if we didn't face those. And just keep moving up your body. See if you can completely relax them. Surrender any of the When you're ready, you want to bring some awareness back into this world. Just wiggle your fingers and your toes a little bit. Let's rotate our ankles and our wrists slightly, slowly. Go in the opposite direction. Inhale your arms up over your head. As you exhale, you may want to bend your knees, keeping your eyes closed the entire time. Roll over to your right side, your head going on top of your right arm. Knees are still bent. Just stay connected with your breath. Feel how your body feels, how your mind feels, how your spirit's moving forward. Pressing yourself up comfortably in a nice, comfortable seated position. Hands resting gently on top of your thighs. Palms up toward heaven. Shoulder blades tucked behind me, your angel wings tucked in there. If you like, you can have your thumb and your index finger touching each other, making that eternal circle, God's infinite love for us. He loved us first. Inhale through your nose here. Exhale, out breath. Deep inhale here. Full exhale. You want to do it as a Hosanna thing. Last one. Full inhale here. Exhale. Hosanna. Bring your hands together, palm touching palm, thumb resting right above your heart, tucking your chin down toward your heart. May you truly celebrate this special time, this holy week, knowing how much God loved us and loves us, what Jesus did, dying for us on the cross, and then being raised. He lives, he's risen, that we can live with God forever. Thank you, Lord. Namaste. Hosanna.